All right, I guess we will get started here at 8:30. Thank you all for joining us. This is the health breakout room. So we've kind of divided up the breakout rooms for this event into some very broad categories. We're kind of focusing on health here, but we're also covering both life and physical sciences pretty broadly at the University of Guelph. So I'm Claire Bruner-Prime. In my role, I support communications in the College of Biological Science. Joining me is Rachel Chatter, the liaison officer for the Ontario Agriculture College, Christine McGovern, joining us from International Recruitment and Admissions, and Elizabeth Lowinger from the Ontario Vet College. We also have actually 3 students. I'm hoping the 4th will join us shortly. Maybe I'll quickly ask each to unmute and introduce themselves, what they're studying, and their hometown. Ariel, do you want to start first?
Sure. Hi, everyone. Oh, I think I froze there for a minute.
I can still hear you.
Okay, sorry. My name is Ariel. I'm currently a first-year graduate student, master's student in molecular and cellular biology, but I'm also a graduate of the undergrad biological science degree. So I'm representing BioSci today, and my hometown is Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean.
All right, Prakriti.
Hey everyone, I'm Prakriti and I'm a 3001 health student at U of G, and my hometown is the city of Mangalore in India.
Thank you. And Christina.
Hi there, it's me, right? Yeah, hi, I'm Christina. I'm currently an international student in second year DVM program at the OVC. So I was also an animal bio student at UOG some time ago. Welcome, everybody.
All right. So I'll give you a little overview of the agenda today. I'll start by speaking a little bit about studying towards a Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Science in Agriculture, Bachelor of One Health, and Bachelor of BioResource Management at U of G, and briefly about the Doctor of Veterinary Medicine program. I'll speak about the majors we offer within the degrees, some of the flexibility offered, and some of the reasons why people choose Guelph. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, you can drop them in the Q&A, and one of us will do our best to answer for you or get back to you when we do have an answer. We'll also be opening up for questions at the end of the presentation if you want to hold your questions till then. Yes, sorry. The University of Guelph is world-renowned for the sciences. We are home to the Ontario Veterinary College, the Ontario Agricultural College, the College of Biological Science, which is the only faculty in Canada solely dedicated to the biological sciences, as well as College of Engineering and Physical Sciences, home to the physical science majors like physics and chemistry. At the U of G, we use the term college, but you might hear faculty at other universities. U of G researchers are tackling a wide range of problems from antimicrobial resistance to biodiversity loss. Some of our faculty even helped design instrumentation for NASA's Mars rover. We have been ranked #1 in total research dollars for comprehensive universities in Canada, a top 5 comprehensive university in Canada, and top 150 in the world for life sciences. Here's a list of the majors in the biological and physical sciences in the Bachelor of Science at the University of Guelph. I won't have time to speak about each one of them today, but if you're interested, I would encourage you to visit uofguelph.ca/programs or the link in the red box above to find the major you're interested in. There's web pages for each of the majors with lots of information on them. The majors that offer co-op have a little red box next to them, and I'll tell you a little bit more about co-op in an upcoming slide. All of these majors have a wide variety of career outcomes. Some of the areas you could end up working include healthcare and veterinary medicine, environmental conservation, research and academia, biotechnology, and forensics, but that's just a little sample. Guelph offers a lot of options for specialization. So if you're interested in animals, for instance, you could study animal biology to focus on domestic animals, wildlife biology for wild animals, with a focus on ecosystems and conservation, marine biology for aquatic animals, and zoology for a higher level view of all animals. For instance, many others also cover animals. If you want a career in healthcare, you can focus on, you can take a major that focuses on different aspects of human health. So pharmaceuticals, human kinetics, microbiology, so the role of bacteria, viruses, and fungi, as well as nutrition and genetics. There's kind of a major for any kind of specialization you want in there. We also have some broader majors, especially biological science and physical science, which allow you to kind of pick and choose from a wide variety of courses in those broad disciplines. If you have your eye on a professional program like medical school, you should look into the requirements for the school you want to get into and tailor your studies to match. But there are many pathways and majors that can get you there. Most Bachelor of Science degrees have a common first year for both biological science majors and physical science majors. These courses help you build a foundation of knowledge in the sciences before you focus more on your major in your second year and beyond. This common first year allows you to kind of change your major easily if you find a new interest in that year. The Bachelor of Science in Agriculture is similar to the Bachelor of Science, but with more of an agriculture focus. The other agriculture majors are covered in another breakout room, but I'll briefly touch on animal science. So animal science has a focus on the agri-food system, including economics and agroecology, which is how it's differentiated from animal biology, which is a Bachelor of Science major. Both animal science and animal biology include courses on species-specific nutrition, animal care and welfare, and independent study. Animal science is available as a co-op. The Bachelor of One Health is a newer program at the University of Guelph and the first degree of its kind in Canada. It's based on the idea that some of the biggest challenges facing us today, like climate change, disease, and food insecurity, need to be tackled from multiple perspectives. So the degree trains students in human health, animal, and environmental health. It pulls from the biological sciences, environmental sciences, and social sciences, and students graduate with a really unique interdisciplinary education. Students can choose to focus on a particular area of emphasis, which is in that last bullet point there. Our One Health student, Prakriti, will be speaking a little bit more about it later. The co-op program, the Bachelor of One Health also has a co-op program. Bachelor of BioResource Management has both an environmental management major, which is covered in another breakout room, and equine management major, which I'll cover here. So the bioresource management degrees are built on a foundation of business-based math and core sciences, including chemistry and biology. Students will take courses related to equine management as early as their first year of study. Other courses include trends and issues in the equine industry, advanced equine nutrition, and marketing communications. Equine management students get practical and theoretical experiences. The program has its own herd of teaching horses that students routinely use in their courses while learning about management, handling, and horse health. For those of you interested in becoming veterinarians, I'll speak briefly about the Doctor of Veterinary Medicine program at OVC. This is the #1 ranked vet school in Canada. You need at least 2 years of undergraduate studies before you can apply to the veterinary medicine program. Many complete a full Bachelor of Science degree, either a 3-year general degree or a 4-year honors degree before applying, and some are accepted partway through their degrees. You can apply to the DVM program from actually any major, but you do need 8 required courses, including in biological sciences, biochemistry, statistics, and cell biology. So you want to make sure to take those courses. There's a few other requirements as well, so I'd recommend you have a look at the DVM program page to learn more. For many of our majors, you can apply to the co-op version of the program directly from high school, or in some cases, even after you've started. Co-op gives you the benefit of paid work experience related to your major while you're studying. When you graduate, you'll have relevant work experience on your resume to help you start your career. The number of work terms depends on the program, but it often extends the length of your degree by a half year or a year. Work terms usually start in your second year, And third year often has 2 work terms back to back, which could either be 2 4-month roles or 1 8-month role. You're responsible for finding your own job, but there are a lot of supports available to help you both find the job, apply, and prepare you for the role. It's called the Experiential Learning Hub at U of G, and it's a great resource for students. If the major you apply for doesn't have co-op or you don't get into co-op, there are still so many great hands-on learning experiences you can take advantage of that will help you prepare for the future, and they look great on your resume. Some science courses have a lab component, so you can learn lab techniques on state-of-the-art equipment. In some cases, you can learn outside in the wilderness, including in the university's very own Arboretum with 400 acres of green space, trees, plant collections, gardens, and walking trails right on campus. It's very beautiful this time of year. The Human Anatomy Lab, if you're interested in working in health, you can learn about the human body through dissection courses on actual human donors. Guelph is one of the few universities in Canada that offers this opportunity to undergraduates. Field courses, we have some pretty amazing field courses, one that goes to Algonquin Provincial Park in Ontario for students to study ecology, and another to St. Andrews, New Brunswick to study marine biology, but we have a few others as well, including one to Madagascar. We offer an internship course where you can work with a business or organization for academic credit, and many opportunities to work directly with faculty members on really important research. You can do summer research assistantships. You can apply for those. Many faculty also hire students or bring in volunteers to work part-time in their labs during the fall and winter terms. There are also research courses you can take if you want to pursue your own research question under the supervision of a faculty member. And then we have some amazing research facilities on campus, in my opinion. The Center for Biodiversity Genomics is the largest bank of DNA barcodes in North America, with a vast collection of plant, animal, and insect DNA. We have an aquarium on campus for studying salt and freshwater marine organisms. We have the Human Nutraceutical Research Unit, which runs clinical trials for foods and nutraceuticals. We have an advanced imaging facility with state-of-the-art microscopes. The Nuclear Magnetic Resonance Center, which researchers use to determine the molecular structure of a sample. Many greenhouses on campus and specialized plant growth chambers. The newly built Honeybee Research Center, and many others. There are also some really cool opportunities to volunteer on campus too. Wild Ontario is an amazing opportunity to provide science education to the public, and you get to work with birds of prey like owls and hawks. There are always lots of seminars, conferences, workshops, and networking events offered across the university to engage with, including through many student clubs and associations. You'll surely find a student club that matches your major and interests. And of course, there's many opportunities to work on campus too. The photo on the right here is our Summerlee Science Complex. It's the largest science teaching and research facility in Canada, and one of many spaces you would spend time in as a science student at Guelph. All science students can access specialized academic and career advisors whose job it is to support you in your studies. They know your programs backwards and forwards and are there for you. There are also a wide variety of academic supports available across the university, like Science Commons in the library with tutors available to help you in chemistry, physics, and math. The library also offers a wide variety of workshops, including on writing in the sciences and study tips. Supported learning groups are group study sessions designed to help students in particularly difficult classes like chemistry and calculus. Career supports, I think I've already mentioned the Experiential Learning Hub. They're there to help you review your resume, prepare for interviews, and help you find a job, and lots of workshops on various careers. Student Accessibility Services is there to help you if you need accommodations. And on a personal level, Student Wellness Services is there for your physical and mental health, including offering appointments with doctors, dietitians, and counselors. Specifically for international students, START International is a program designed to help international students transition into university life at the University of Guelph. There's lots of events, programs, and communications that go out leading up to and throughout your first year at Guelph, including on topics like expectations inside and outside the class, immigration questions, employment, healthcare, financial tips, and social events. And throughout your degree, you can access lots of support specifically for international students, including international student advisors, career supports, English language support, clubs and events, and more. All right, now I'm going to invite our students to speak for a few minutes about each of their experiences at the U of Guelph. So I'm going to start with Prakriti. Can you unmute Prakriti?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so Prakriti, as I think she mentioned, is a third year, right? Bachelor of One
Yeah.
Health student.
Yeah.
Originally from India. So Prakriti, what drew you to Guelph and the One Health program?
To be honest, Guelph's One Health program appealed to me because of its very unique interdisciplinary structure, as it combined sciences, humanities, and like the social health perspective of health. I found that it went beyond traditional health studies, and it offered like a more comprehensive approach that I found very challenging and also very intriguing. I do like a challenge sometimes, so it was a very interesting program for me. Um, and I also think that the university commits to community-focused education and research opportunities and creates a very supportive environment where I could explore these diverse fields in depth. Additionally, Guelph provided me a lot of financial support options that made pursuing this program feasible. Um, One is the co-op program that guarantees a full-time job, which is something that eased that financial aspect of my consideration to go to U of G. Besides that, I also have a bunch of entrance scholarships to bursaries and grants. And these financial resources have helped ease the burden of expenses. Um, it also showed me, like when I saw the list of the finances and the support Guelph offered, it showed me that Guelph also is dedicated to accessible and very inclusive education. I love the diversity around campus. It's something that also drew me to Guelph specifically. Um, and yeah, this level of support was a very significant factor in my decision to choose Guelph. Um, One more
Yeah.
thing is that, like coming from India, where fields like engineering and med school are often seen as like primary paths to success, I feel like choosing a program like One Health and that was outside these areas was very scary. But even though I was hesitant at first, I feel like it was one of the best decisions I've made is to choose One Health at U of G. Um, my initial planning of like what I'm gonna do next, I feel like was very real and it's kind of transformed into excitement because of the wide range of opportunities that this program provides.
Hmm,
So yeah.
awesome. So what kind of makes One Health different from other degrees?
Um, One Health stands out because number one, it's interdisciplinary approach. It integrates arts, social sciences, human, animal, and environmental health. This broad range allows students like me to understand the interconnectedness of these fields. The program also emphasizes hands-on learning through diverse methods such as lab work, field studies, collaborative projects, giving that give me a chance to apply theories in real-world contexts. I think one of the most unique aspects of One Health is the passion everyone shares towards sustainability in my class. And the program's purpose of a holistic approach to solving problems. This program, I feel like, has instilled a sort of like humility in me that has shaped my perspective from what I started off to where I am now as a third year student. I feel like I've learned to appreciate things much more deeply and see the beauty and complexity. The One Health program has definitely not only expanded my academic knowledge, but it has also taught me approach to global health and environmental issues with some sort of respect and appreciation for the interconnectedness between these pillars of the ecosystem.
Wonderful, thank you. Can you tell me about the range of subjects and research you've learned about so far?
Sorry, I think I just froze there for a second. Can
No,
you
it's
hear me?
okay. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you tell me a little bit about the range of subjects and research you've learned about so far?
Yeah, of course. The range of research, it's incredible. Going to class itself is like incredibly inspiring for me because of the wide range of professors and the research topics that I'm exposed to on a daily basis. I've been exposed to cardiovascular health, to economics, to public health, to molecular biology. So I feel like that's very wide, and I do have a wide range of research topics at hand. Um, this program also connects professors from various departments across Guelph, creating one of the broadest research ranges I've seen at U of G. Um, I've explored topics or subjects like animal health research on zoonotic diseases and environmental health studies examining pollution's impact on human well-being. Um, and delving into each of these subjects with experts who bring unique perspectives and methodologies has been very helpful too. One of the highlights that you mentioned was the Madagascar trip that my public anthropology and One Health professor, Travis, is organizing. It's a project that brings public health, anthropology, and environmental science together in a meaningful and hands-on way. It's something I'm very excited to apply for myself. So yeah, this exposure to interdisciplinary research has not only broadened my knowledge, but it also makes each class feel like an opportunity to see the world in a connected way.
Wonderful, thank you. One last question for you. Can you tell me a little bit about the support you've received at your time in Guelph?
Yeah, absolutely. So Guelph has a broad range of support. One of the main things that really helped me was the Student Wellness Center that I used to draw by. I think something that all of us international students can relate to is the feeling of anxiety, homesickness, and the depression creeping in when you have been living with your family your whole life and you have to move your whole life suddenly. It's a culture shock, it's the change of environment, it's a lot on you as a student, especially as a young student, trying to build your life in a new country. It gets pretty hard. So the Student Wellness Center, therapy, counseling services, drop-in services has definitely helped me. Besides that, academically, our program counselor, Jessica Neda, deserves a mention in this webinar. She is wonderful. She is on top of everything and she genuinely cares. Like, if you join the program, she will genuinely care about you as a person more than a student. So yeah, a very strong support system at U of G created this like amazing welcoming atmosphere and has helped me build a sense of belonging in the community. And it has made my experience very special at U of G.
Thanks so much, Christina. All right, Ariel, I'm gonna call you in. So Ariel is a graduate of the biological science major, and she's currently a master's student in molecular and cellular biology at Guelph. So why did you choose Guelph and biological science?
Well, to be honest, oh, I'm frozen again. Oh, I'm not. Okay. Sorry. My internet's acting up. Okay. So to be honest, I chose Guelph for vet school originally. Guelph is known for its Ontario Veterinary College, or OVC. So I originally applied to Guelph and I was kind of on the stream to go into vet school, and that was my plan. But within my degree, specifically biological science, that degree is a little bit special within our college because there's not many prescribed courses. So a lot of other degrees, they kind of plan your semester for you and you know kind of know what courses you have to take, what semester you should take them, and what order. But biological science is very open, very, very flexible. So I was able to take courses not just within my college, but within other colleges as well. So I've gone from toxicology to pharmacology, immunology, to population medicine, to management, I've gone everywhere. And through that, I was able to find other interests throughout my degree. So one particularly is chemistry. I started taking a lot of organic chemistry courses. And through that, I decided chemistry was sort of a path that I saw myself going down more instead of vet school. So I switched in that direction. But further in my degree in fourth year, so last year, I was able to take a research course. And that research course involved me actively doing research within my university, going through the entire process of collecting data, analyzing data, writing papers, doing presentations. And that research project actually shaped my master's degree as I was able to kind of just roll up into what I'm doing now.
Yes, sounds like you've had quite a journey. And but it sounds like BioSci lets you kind of pick and choose what you like, which is helpful when you're learning about yourself and your interests. So tell me about your experiences coming to Canada specifically.
Okay, so I like to tell people that my journey of coming to Canada and living in Canada is trial and error, that everything is you trying it. If it works, great. If it doesn't, okay. Things like finding out where to go, finding out how to use the bus, finding out what bank to use, little things that, as it was said before, we lived with our families our whole life. And now suddenly you're by yourself and you have to figure out everything. So it really is just trial and error and seeing what works, what doesn't. It's okay to try different things. That I ended up liking activities and events that I didn't even like back home. I've met amazing people here, and it will be scary in the beginning when you first come. Most likely, students come by themselves, and you're in the dorms. You're with thousands of people that you don't know on a new campus that you've probably never seen before. And it's all strange and scary, but it's very, very exciting. And it is an experience I would highly recommend to anyone.
Thank you. So what's the community like in Guelph and on campus?
Well, itself is very, very nice and very, very welcoming. As I said, you come here with no experience whatsoever, and I've had my fair share of, oh, I have to book this appointment. I have to go find this place, and I don't know what's happening. And the people in Guelph, the people on campus, they're very, very welcoming. They're very understanding that you're not accustomed to this, that you don't exactly know what to do sometimes, and they're very willing to lend you a helping hand, to point you in the right direction, to help you do certain tasks. In terms of academic support, I've gone to program counselors, as was said before. I've tried our library services. I've tried wellness as well. I've tried physical therapy as well. There's a lot of different resources academically, as well as international resources specifically. There's a lot of different clubs on Guelph. So there's clubs for different cultural groups. There's events that happen throughout the semester where you can meet other students. You can learn not just about Canadian culture, but cultures from around the world. I've made quite a few strong connections and friendships through these events. And there really is something here for everybody. There's supports in terms of our international advisors. So if there's any visa problems, study permit problems, anything like that, there's someone there to help you. Guelph really does take care of its international students. And if you need help, help's always there.
That's great to hear, Ariel. Lastly, what was your favorite course? And tell me a little bit about it.
So in terms of my favorite course, I think I'll backtrack to when I said I chose chemistry. I do have a chemistry minor. So I did like it that much that I added on a minor to my degree. So my favorite course would probably have to be Organic Chemistry 1, because that's the course that started this entire thing. It's known as a very difficult course, so it's not a popular choice for favorite course, but it was one that I was able to experience my first time at hands-on learning. and actually seeing what happens to the content that you learn in class. You're actually applying what you're learning in class. There's a lot of teamwork. There's a lot of just active learning, I would say. And I would probably choose that as my favorite course because that's the one that ultimately started my chemistry journey. So,
All right. Thank you, Ariel. I'll move on to Christina.
Hi
All right.
there. Can you hear me well? Oh God,
Yeah.
my lighting every time.
So no, I can hear you. You look good. So Christina is a Doctor of Veterinary Medicine student and a graduate of the animal biology major. So can you tell us a little bit about why you chose Guelph?
Sure. So unlike or like many of you, I did not actually know that I want to be a vet before I applied for university. I know that I always wanted to do something with animals, but I was more thinking about the research side. So I was like, maybe I can apply for general biology undergraduate and go into specifications for my master's program. But as I was looking over universities in grade 12, I actually came across Guelph and came across OVC at that time. And I found out that, OVC is a world top ranking veterinary college, and they have a lot of worldwide well known researchers as professors. And that's when the idea of becoming a veterinarian came across my mind. Like, if you want to do something with animals, why not being a doctor for the animals? So that's why I chose Guelph. And why I chose it for undergrad is probably because I applied for animal bio with the intention of applying to OVC in the future. Guelph itself, because OVC is a part of Guelph, it offers a lot of resources for pre-vet students for them to prepare them for their vet school application. Animal bio, which is my undergrad major, really helps students to plan that 8 prerequisite courses. You don't have to worry about taking them as your electives because they're all built into your curriculum. It has a lot of relevant courses to what you're going to take to vet school. So I think animal bio is, as well as many other sciencey majors. I do have classmates right now from all over the undergrad majors. These sciencey majors do prepare you very, very well for vet school application. And extracurricularly, there's a lot of resources that the main campus offers for pre-vet students for vet school application. For example, I was a part of the Future Vets Club when I was an undergrad. It's a student organization that really that creates opportunities and gives talks to pre-vet students to help them with their vet school application. That club is where I built a lot of strong connections with. I made a lot of friends. You're going to be surrounded by people who has the same interest, and it's really a mutually supportive environment, which I find really helpful. And also, I think Guelph itself just is really appealing to me because if you're like me who enjoys the small and quiet little town to study in, I think Guelph is really nice. It's really safe to stay here. And yeah, it's just a really quiet place with little distraction that can distract you from your education. So yeah, there's a lot more points that I can cover, but I can go
Yeah.
on and on about it.
And you mentioned briefly the Future Vets Club. Can you tell us a little bit about how you kind of prepared yourself for applying to DVM? I know you have lots of volunteer experiences. Want to elaborate a little bit more there?
Sure. Yeah, so as Claire mentioned, we do need students who have a lot of prior experiences, either vet related or animal related or extracurricular prior to applying to vet school. So the Future Vets Club, as I said, is a really good resource to hold on to if vet school is something you're considering, because the club does offer a lot of opportunities to build connections with professionals, or they do post a lot of experiences like volunteer experiences or part-time experiences on their website for students to look up for. And yeah, it just have a lot of labs that's offered by the vet school, as well as different admissions talk from other vet schools if that's something that interests you. And in addition to that, I think most of my experiences just comes from volunteering, my vet related experiences, volunteering for the clinics around Guelph, because I didn't have a car, so I couldn't really drive far for my vet experiences. I basically just emailed every clinic around me and see who took volunteers, and that's how I ended up with several positions. And because the colleges here, OVC's hospital, do offer a lot of opportunities like volunteers or part-times for undergrad students as well. So definitely look at OVC's information board for any positions posted. And yeah, other than that, it's just really a lot of extracurricular experience that you can look up for on campus. There's more than the Future Vets Club. In undergrad, there's a lot more opportunities for you to get involved with. And something else I think it's also worth mentioning is the International Peer Helpers organization. This is a student-run organization that pairs up upper year international student with new incoming international student and hold events for them. I think it's a pretty nice experience for me as a senior student, to be able to guide or help my junior students maybe from the same background. And also it's a really supportive environment for the new incoming student, as there's someone that's similar to you, guiding you through the transition, easing some of the burdens, some of the anxieties. So I think that's also a really important part of my experience that I can think of. But yeah,
Yeah,
there's
no, that's
a lot
perfect.
going on.
I was going to ask you about the sense of community during your undergrad. You kind of touched on
Oh.
that international peer support, but if you have any other sort of examples of that kind of shows the sense of community at Guelph, in Guelph, generally the city, on campus, and for international students, that'd be great.
Sure. So I find Guelph, it's a really inclusive environment because you do really meet people from all over the world here, especially on campus. We do have a lot of international students here. So it's not hard for you to find someone from the same background sharing the same interest as you. And the international student peer helper I mentioned, I think it's a pretty nice way to build connections with people from similar backgrounds. And for me, it was very, very easy to find people sharing the same interest because most of my classmates from animal biology would like to apply to OVC, as well as students in the Future Vets Club. You do know that you all share the same interest. So it's just a really inclusive environment, and it's really nice to be able to be surrounded by a group of friends who share the same interests, and you can work on it together. Most of my classmates from the same classes in undergrad, we can study together for quizzes, we can prepare vet school application together, ask each other interview questions or Casper questions, which I find really sweet. And yeah, even after you get into the DVM program, it's even more inclusive environment because you have classmates from different backgrounds, different countries, and everybody have different experiences, but it's just the school that brings everybody together. So I do have a lot of classmates from, they did their undergrad from other schools, and some of them has completed their PhDs. So you are in the same class as really, really knowledgeable, really mature people. And yeah, OVC thrives to create an inclusive environment for students, and they do have a lot of support for international student per se. Even domestic student, they get a lot of support as well. But I think it's just the fact that student at Guelph, no matter which major, they do tend to stick together. We bound really easily to create that mutual support environment for everybody.
All right. One last question for you. What kind of hands-on learning experiences did you have during your undergraduate degree?
So speaking of hands-on experiences, a lot of classes in undergrad for animal biology do have labs that allows for hands-on practices. For example, I think our animal nutrition class, which actually brought us into the barn and assigned a group of chicks to different groups in the class, and we were responsible for feeding the chickens for 2 weeks to assess the nutritional levels in their feed. So that's one of the pretty fun experiences that I got as an undergrad. And another really cool lab I had was looking at a fistula in the cow's rumen, and I was able to put my hand down the rumen of the cow, which is kind of weird, but it's a really cool experience. It's a really cool experience to have. And in addition to that, outside of your courses, there's a lot of club events that allows hands-on opportunities. For example, it's more vet related. Again, from the Future Vets Club, they do have a lot of hands-on labs. The Ross University will come each year to hold suture labs for students, for pre-vet students, which I unfortunately never got a chance to attend because it always fills up so fast. Even as a club executive, I cannot get a spot myself, unfortunately, but I find that a pretty useful experience as well. And yeah, just look for extracurricularly, you know, if you volunteer for a hospital or even if you become a volunteer at OVC, they really foster education environment. They do try to maximize your hands-on experience as much as possible. So it's not difficult to get hands-on experiences at Guelph, I would say. It's pretty easy, and there's pretty substantial experiences that you can get.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Christina.
Thank you.
All right. So, what are kind of the next steps if you'd like to apply to the U of Guelph? I've included here some important application dates to keep in mind. So January 15th is our early admission deadline. March 1st is our final application deadline, and June 2nd is the last day to accept your offer. There's a QR code there that you can scan for a full listing of dates. The international admissions website is really the best place to go for all the information you need to apply wherever you are in the world. In Canada, students apply through the Ontario University's Application Centre, but like I said, it's best to go to that website and find out the info most relevant to you. International admissions offers a wide variety of online events, including this webinar, but also virtual tours. If you're in Canada and want to see our beautiful campus, we have some in-person events and open houses coming up, and you can also book a tour of campus. And if you have any questions after this webinar, you can always email internet@uofguelph.ca, and there's also a couple phone numbers on the website too. I've listed a few of the social media accounts here for a few of the academic units represented in today's webinar, as well as our central admissions account. The admissions account is a great account to follow for upcoming events and information for prospective students.